It's not normal to walk into a room and feel inferior or scared of the people in that room. I don't care what race, I don't care what qualifications, I don't care what's going on with those people. It is not normal nor healthy to walk into a room and feel inferior to the people you're in that room with. And this is coming from a woman who's growing out of my fear of people, my timidness, playing small, feeling scared, because I grew up believing that authority had a right to instill fear in me, fear in my body, force me to play small, because in my childhood, expression, authenticity, speaking my thoughts, being myself was a threat to the people around me. Being a people pleaser and seeing people as above you or superior or more powerful than you is basically, it's no greater or no worse than being a narcissist and looking down on people, seeing people as inferior. And I know some people are going to say, well, like, how can you compare narcissists and empaths or people pleasers? Well, a narcissist is dangerous to other people, but a people pleaser is dangerous to themselves. And at the end of the day, it's still a human abusing another human, even if that's yourself. You see what I'm saying? So our biggest aim is to be in the middle. We don't want to have too much ego, but we also don't want to sit here and act like we're nothing. And it's okay if we're walked all over and talked about and talked down on, disrespected. Like, you don't do anybody, including yourself, any good allowing yourself to be disrespected, allowing yourself to be a shell of yourself, scared and fearful of what another human being is going to do, and especially not say or think. You know what I mean? And trust me when I say I understand, because if you experienced dysfunctional dynamics as a child, you're going to try to do whatever you can do to feel safe in connection, to maintain connection. Like, you don't want to lose again. You don't want to be disappointed again. And so a lot of us go into that fawning where we're overly agreeable. We don't have an opinion. We don't want to stir the waters. You know, we become empty. We numb ourselves out in hopes that we just won't get in the way. We just don't want to get in the way. Even if that means we don't have a say-so, we don't have a voice, we don't have anything, as long as we're not in the way. And that's exactly what narcissistic people look for. Like, narcissistic people love empathetic, people-pleasing people because they know you're hungry for their validation in one way or another. They know if they pull the right tactics or play the right mind games, then you're wrapped around their finger. You have to have an ego. Your ego is the part of you that says, I deserve to be protected. I don't deserve to be treated any old kind of way. I'm not going to let anybody treat me any kind of way because I have value. I have a soul. I have presence. I have energy. That's all so valuable. That's all so needed in this world. Like, we have to stop looking at ourselves like we're not needed in this world. I don't care if you ring up groceries for the rest of your life. It doesn't matter about a job title, a position. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your pocket. None of the materialistic things matter, because you were born on this earth for a reason. Period. 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 I don't want to hear it. Period. You have value in your body because you were born. Because you're watching this video right now, because you're able to go out right now and connect with people, because you have the ability to reach people, create relationships, butterfly effect. You can go out and do something right now that causes a ripple later on down the line. You get what I'm saying? Like, your presence matters. You need to start believing that and acting like it. And then as children, when we're taught to fear authority and fear adults, and we're taught to be scared of everybody who's a little bit more dominating or bold than us, you start to kind of idolize people. So now you have people on a pedestal where other people, especially if they have a more assertive or dominating personality, people are up here and I'm down here, and I'm at the whim of this person's personality, this person's strength. You have that same strength. Even if you are more shy, more quiet, more reserved, more laid back, more observant, more spiritual, like, It doesn't matter. You have the same power that you observe in people that you feel like are more dominating or scary or over you. You have it. We all have the same thing, okay? Just like we all have blood running through our veins, we all have that same presence, that same energy. It's just that some of us were taught to run away from that power because at one point it threatened a system that we were born into. At one point it threatened the confidence and position of a very insecure adult that we had in our lives at that time. So I say all this to say, don't let anybody treat you like a pet. Don't let anybody treat you like a pet. That doesn't mean you have to walk around in life, at your job, at parties and stuff, flipping tables if somebody disrespects you. But when somebody disrespects you, please don't keep smiling in their face. When somebody disrespects you, stop pretending like nothing happened. Stop pretending like they're safe for you. If they offend you, if they say something and it's like, it rubs you the wrong way, you have the freedom to question, what did you mean by that? Like, huh? And if you decide that that person isn't safe for you, that person has a personality that's just, it's not rubbing you the right way, you have the power, the permission, and the right to disconnect from that person. Even if it is a quiet, silent cutoff, even if that looks like you just distancing yourself, having your headphones in a little bit more, cutting the conversations shorter. Like, defending yourself doesn't have to be this huge, big thing. It doesn't have to require you to tap into like deep-seated anger. And of course, anger has a time and a place as well. But like, boundaries are much easier than we think. Boundaries are much more simple than we give them, than we give it. Boundaries are very simple, but if you're taught as a child that your boundaries mean you're being disrespectful, or your boundaries somehow will cost you your safety or your peace of mind, you're going to be a little bit more hesitant to put up that boundary. And if you don't heal this part of you, you're going to run into people as an adult that feel like they can run over you and do you any kind of way. At some point, you have to instill those boundaries and become that person that says, no more people pleasing. No more people pleasing. I need a little bit more ego here. The ego says, I deserve to be protected. The ego says, I deserve to be here. The ego says, I worked to get here just as much as you did, even if I barely lifted my finger. We in the same room for a reason. We're in the same building. We're in the same vicinity for a reason. So I'm not going to let you make me feel less than who I am. Period.